Heart-pairing episode 11 breakdown, Jeyeon's confession, Sang-yoon's freeze, and the postcard war incoming. Did anyone else catch that Jeyeon was wearing the exact same outfit from her final contract date with Sang-yoon when she was talking to Hanul by the stairs? Yep, that convo where Hanul casually dropped that she's planning to ask Jimin out, and then boom, cut to Hanul knocking on Jimin's door like it's a 2 a.m. mission. The build-up to episode 12 is already getting spicy, and we haven't even gotten into the deep stuff yet. Disclaimer. Everything here is just my opinion and interpretation of the show, so if you disagree, don't fight me, fight the editing team. Let's talk about Sang-yoon's interview. By the end of episode 11, we finally get to hear Sang-yoon open up in his interview. He admits he felt the same way Jeyeon did, but says he couldn't express it properly because he was trying to sound cool. Sorry, but what kind of reason is that? Honestly, he did say he had feelings. The real issue? He couldn't say when they started. Meanwhile, Jeyeon had her answer ready. She caught feelings when he cooked for her, and they ate together in the camping van, but Sang-yoon couldn't remember until the producers helped him out by inserting a voiceover where he magically remembers it was during their ice skating date. So, you're telling me he had time to reflect in the interview and remember his spark, but couldn't recall a single thing when Jeyeon asked him straight to his face? It's giving emotional freeze. Or maybe just, oops, I wasn't that into you. Let's zoom in on that date timeline. Okay, now let's get nerdy with the timeline and outfits. The teasers rewind us to the second night of contract relationships. Just to line things up, Jimin had his date with Jeyeon. Changwon wore his pink shirt during the truth game. Jeyeon returned from her romantic snowy getaway with Sang-yoon and immediately started hovering around Jimin. Yes, the same Jimin whose throat she was suddenly concerned about in the kitchen. If the camping trip was that magical, would she really be checking in on another guy right after? If her heart was fluttering, wouldn't she be glued to Sang-yoon's side instead? I've said this before. I only felt 2 sparks during that date. No full-on butterflies. So when she says Sang-yoon's her favorite and most compatible, I can't help but wonder, was that really her heart talking? Or just her trying to keep the vibes light because let's not forget, this is the same girl who told Woo-jae she doesn't like branded items while holding a Dior bag. Did Sang-yoon buy the confession? After the date, Sang-yoon asks her to cook him a dish he's never had before, served in a dimly lit room. Yes, basically asking for a candlelit dinner. Inside the house, with 10 other people. That's not just a request. That's a chess move. He's trying to stake his claim, and honestly, I respect the hustle. He knows he's up against Jimin, aka Silent Charisma King, and he's not backing down. But here's the real kicker. Did he believe Jeyeon's confession at all? Because if he did, why freeze so badly when she asked him when his feelings started? Even if he was hurt seeing her with Jimin, he could have found a moment to talk it out. I think the damage was already done. The producers even showed that subtle but deadly foot moment. Sang-yoon's legs moved toward her. Jeyeon's moved away. Editing never lies. See, Heart Signal S2, Hyunwoo and Hyunju. Episode 12, Predictions, Postcard Chaos. Incoming okay. Let's talk postcard dates. Here's what's coming. Woo-jae x Jeyeon. They're going on a date. Maybe we'll finally get closure on that quiet lunch they had when their arc wrapped. Changwon x Jiwon Sua. The ladies are in the room. Changwon enters. If he calls Sua, that's on brand. If he calls Jiwon, oh boy. Jimin x Hanul. If Hanul wrote to Jimin like I suspect, this is her moment to shoot her shot again. She's always had a calm but deadly vibe, and if she stirs Jimin's heart even a little, things could get wild. Also, let's not forget the 2 a.m. scene. Jimin calls Jeyeon into his room. They're giggling in the dark. Sang-yoon's overhearing. And boom, he's not smiling anymore. And let's be honest, if Jeyeon really confessed to Sang-yoon, will she tell Jimin about it? Some people say it wasn't a real confession, but come on. Even native Korean fans called it one. You don't need a rooftop love declaration to call a spade a spade. Couples power rankings and some tea. Jiwon x Woo-jae. Stable, calm, no drama. Snoozeworthy, but they're good. Jeyeon x Chanyoung, married energy. He called her an onion with layers, and she laughed like she was already picturing their future kids. He even said his mom would love her, and that her bug-catching skills make her his type. We love a man with strange priorities. Meanwhile, Sewer X Jimin. This is where D.